Brian Cashman says that he's a great, smart baseball guy, so I'll take his word for it, and maybe this just fell into the Mets' lap. And if he's best friends with Stearns, and Stearns will come here eventually to replace Sandy Alderson as president of baseball operations, then Steve Cohen's done the right thing here. We never know how these guys are going to work out. Yeah. You just never know. I mean, he did a good job of attracting free agents out to the Angels. He did a good job with, Mike Trout getting his next contract and keeping him in place there. He also was the general manager underneath that the pill scandal out there and the drug scandal out there. Don't forget that. So, maybe that's why he wasn't touched. I don't know if he'll be asked about that here. That Tyler Skaggs guy
who passed away.
And you had Matt Harvey on that staff and everybody else on that staff. It was a lot of ugly stuff that went on out there under his watch as GM. Now I can't sit here and tell you that the GM is going to be watching every player do whatever they're doing, but I'm sure he'll be asked about it. But my thing is like he's a baseball guy. He knows the inner workings of baseball, knows how to attract free agents, knows how to negotiate contracts.
Attracting free agents.
Plus, he's also has a lot of contacts in baseball, which to me is a good thing. I mean, like he's in it. He's in it. He loves it. He eats it. He sleeps it. He drinks it. So unless there's something else that we don't know about it, other than that drug scandal that took place out there, one of the players died. I don't see the problem with this, especially with you saying that he is very good friends with the president or vice president of the Milwaukee Brewers, who ultimately I think is going to become president of the Mets next year.
What it sounds like. It sounds like this is a job that he wants. He was born in New York, David Stearns. He's probably going to get a raise. Maybe he thinks my job in Milwaukee is done. This team I've turned around and put in a good spot. Now I want to take the Mets to some new heights. But you talk about attracting free agents, and I heard that a couple times after the Billy Epler name was out there. Artie Moreno spends a lot of money, the owner of the Angels.
Yeah, the wrong money sometimes.
He spends a lot of money, and it's Southern California.
Yeah, I know, but it's also tax heaven, man. It's like tax.
Okay.
Tax here, too. It doesn't matter, but not as much as there, but still tax. Look, you got Shohei Ohtani, and you got Shohei Ohtani from the Yankees. The Yankees were all in on that. And next thing you know, he wants to become an Angel because he wanted to stay on the West Coast. I understand all that too, but he won that prize, if you will. And Shohei Ohtani this past year was the news in baseball. Mm-hmm. He was the story in baseball, and he was brought there by Billy Epler. So I don't know. Well, look again. We don't know what this team is going to look like. We don't know if there's going to be a lockout. We have no idea how he's going to fix this rotation. We have no idea whether or not he's going to be able to get a center fielder. What he thinks of Conforto, what he thinks of Marcus Stroman, what he thinks of Robinson Cano, and what's going on there. Is there going to be a DH in the National League? So there's so many moving parts around this. It's just nice that they have a GM, and the GM at least has significant experience in every aspect of the game of baseball, which I like.
Yes.
But ultimately, it's going to come down to whether or not they can fix this pitching staff and how he views some of the Mets' deficiencies and how he thinks he can fix them, along with, by the way, Sandy Alderson, who's still going to be involved.
Yeah, of course, and he doesn't even want to be involved, but he's going to be involved. He can't seem to get himself out of that involvement. But you mentioned things that we don't know about Billy Epler, and there's going to be a lot of that, what he thinks about this current roster. But you did mention the things we do know, which are good. The experience of actually being a general manager is something that is nice, as opposed to
director of scouting in baseball for one of the premier sports franchises in the world.
And he knows New York, and he has worked in New York, and he has been here. So those are two things that are major parts of trying to navigate through this job. He has also worked for a guy in Artie Moreno who is a little bit of an owner who gets in your face and is loud and is a lot of pressure and all of these things that maybe Steve Cohen is, that people were running from. So he's got that experience there too. So a lot of people are going to point to the fact that, wait, you had Mike Trout, you had Shohei Ohtani, you had all these free agents you brought in, and why did this team never win?
Well, it went south there that one year. And, we can't, I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly what went down and how it went down with the training staff and everything else. But that is a huge blow for a team when somebody dies on your team.
Yeah,
and the way that it went down and all of the investigation that went into it. So maybe that was a big reason why they did not win. On top of not having a great pitching staff, and Mike Trout, got hurt the last couple of years. So I'm not going to put that on the GM. I mean, the GM is, he's got to build a team. He's got to find the right players. He's got to find the right mix. And he's got to find the right manager. That's the next thing. Now comes the manager search. And I would think that Epler also has a lot of contacts in that world. I don't know if they're looking for a big name manager. I don't know if they're looking for somebody that, he has had a run-ins. When I say run-ins, good run-ins in the past. So that's the next thing. And hopefully, to me, what this feels like just feels like it's a professional hire.
Hire.
That's what it feels like. This is not like some shot in the dark.
It's not a fluid to the top situation.
No, it's not a shot in the dark. It's somebody that, I could see, the resume, and I could say, okay, and the fact that he was with the Yankees helps.
Yeah, that's a big deal. You want to hear a John Heyman tweet about Mets manager? I know you love the Heyman tweets.
All right, who may be the Mets manager? Who may they be talking to?
It says, assuming Epler takes a Mets job, which we feel like that's a done deal.
Yeah.
Brad Ausmus.
Yeah, well, that was his hire in L.A.
Could be high on the Mets managerial list.
Could be high.
Could be high.
Not as high on the Mets managerial list.
Could be high.
Do I give a damn? Honestly.
Word is, I'm not done yet. Hold on.
Word is. We have another word.
Word is.
Yeah.
Ausmus's shockingly quick exit in Anaheim was at owner Artie Moreno's behest, and Epler is thought to be a supporter of Brad Ausmus. So there you go. Hey, man. Could be Ausmus. You bring him in. And people talk about Socia, but I don't know how much he worked with Socia there for a while, but I don't know what the relationship is there as well. But everybody's got these guys. Everybody's got this stable of guys.
What does Adam Schefter say?
What does Schefter say? Condoleezza Rice
All right,
is going to manage.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's going to manage.
You got to stop with that.
You're the one who brought up Schefter.
But you keep going that Condoleezza Rice thing. I don't know why you keep beating that thing into the ground. By the way, speaking of beating things into the ground, how nice was it to see the Knicks hold a team to under 90 points?
Yeah, it felt like last year, didn't it?
And you saw it was on the court the last 17 minutes of this game. Look, Emmanuel quickly needs to play, man, and he needs to play a lot more.
He's that energy. He's that youth. He is that spark that seems to lack a little bit.
If I could sit him down, I'd say, look, man, you get a little haywire.
Yeah.
You get a little haywire, man.
Yeah.
And we don't want haywire.
We
need a little bit more poise with the ball. He's getting there. You could see it, but you need he can play defense. He's got his long arms, and if he just knows how to help and then get back is really where one of the areas where it's a little tough on him, I think, at times. But he's a good shooter, man.
He's fearless,
and he'll go to the basket. But like I said, sometimes he gets a little haywire, and I can understand why Thibodeau may, in certain situations, say, "Come on over here and sit down, kid." Because we got to calm you down. Because he plays sometimes he plays with his hair on fire. But I'd much rather have that. Than have an older point guard standing there and have a guy go around him.
What's that old adage? I'd rather say "whoa" than "sick 'em."
Yeah, whatever. I've never heard of that.
You never heard that one?
That's an adage.
I've heard that before.
Add it to the adage list because that's a good adage.
That's a good adage. I'd rather say "whoa," meaning like "whoa" with the horse, than "sick 'em," meaning go get somebody
or giddy up maybe.
Do you have an adage that you go to often, Al, or no?
An old
you seem
adage.
like an adage guy.
I don't know if he's an adage guy.
My only adage I do is when the going gets tough, quit.
That's your adage.
That's my
okay.
adage.
Yeah, that's
my
a good
first
one.
instinct is quit. And
Yeah.
then I'll think about it after.
All right, and then you'll worry about it. Just get yourself out of harm's way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good adage, and if it works for you, then that's important.
Yeah. Rather say "whoa" than "sick 'em." I feel like that's the thing. If I'm starting that today, I don't know. Maybe I'm the first one to say that.
I've never really heard of that adage before.
Well, that's
but
what.
Again, like if you listen to Boomer and Gio, you can learn things.
That's absolutely right.
I just learned something.
So then you're getting Tom Thibodeau saying "whoa" to Emmanuel quickly and not "sick 'em."
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. But you get my drift.
I do get your drift.
I mean, because Kemba and Fournier have been brutal defensively. And, and whatever they're working on or however they can get into the flow of the game or whatever it is, the one thing I see against when other teams come in here and play, we have all these young guys you kind of know who they are, But then they come here and they all of a sudden you see how long and athletic and how fast they are.
A lot of that in the Eastern Conference.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
These teams got guys that, you're like, holy crap, where'd this guy come from?
Sure.
And I feel like the Knicks sometimes, they're the older players like Kemba and Fournier, even though they're not terribly old, sometimes look like they're standing in quicksand.
Well, especially Kemba to begin the season he looks like he's a step behind. That doesn't mean he's going to remain a step behind. Remember, he's missed a lot of time because of injury, and it may take him some time to get back to exactly where he needs to be, and he's admitted it. But yeah, he has looked a step behind, and what's shocking about that is he was always a guy who was quicker than everybody else.
Right.
So when you see him play this way, it's a little bit jarring. But I know you like stretches. You're a big schedule stretch.
I told you, this stretch right here.
You love a stretch.
Yeah, big stretch guy, yeah.
Yep. So this stretch, it was a little mini 3-game stretch.
That's right. And they had to win last night. They have to win versus Orlando, and they have to win versus Houston.
So, yeah, it's a lock. Got to go 3-0.
You got to go 3-0 on this, because you lost some bad games. And plus, you're playing at home, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Will you please give the Knicks fans something to root for as opposed to getting booed like Julius Randle started to get booed last night?
I know.
So it started, look, it's the whole bing bong thing to start the season was ridiculous. And there were times where this team has got to get its act together and they got to learn how to play with each other and they have 2 new starters and all that other stuff. I've heard it all. Eventually either you have the ability to play defense or you don't. And if you're not going to play defense, then you shouldn't be playing because it's a big part of who the Knicks have been since Thibodeau got here. And yeah, they wanted more shooting and they wanted more 3-point shots and they wanted, they're going to get, Mitchell Robinson was going to be back in the mix and man, I'll tell you, Taj Gibson is a big reason why they play good defense.
Oh my goodness,
that guy with his arms and the way that he plays and how
Tom
smart
Thibodeau
he
made
plays.
him in a lab,
right? So he's got to stay healthy. That guy's got to stay healthy. I don't care what anybody says. He is like the unsung hero of this team.
Right. I mean, he brings it every night. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. Both ends of the floor. Because after that mini 3-game stretch, this is a must-win 3-game stretch.
Right, okay.
Then you got Bulls, Lakers, Suns, Hawks, Nets, Bulls again, and Nuggets.
All right, so
that's a gauntlet.
Yeah, it is a gauntlet. The Lakers suck right now.
Yeah, but still, they still have very, very talented.
Is that game in LA or is that in New York?
Man, that's the one that's Tuesday at the Garden. We had kind of talked about going, but not really.
I'm going to go in there and watch LeBron drop 50 on the Knicks.
Well, you just told me that the Lakers stink.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, of course.
He wants to come in and score 50.
That'll be the catalyst game for the Lakers.
It's the kickstart game.
Yeah, of course. That's the one. That was the moment in this season that got the Lakers going.
We talk about the Knicks playing defense last night. I'll tell you what. If you watched the football game last night, the 49ers kicked the living crap out of the Rams.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.